Coming up on Oxford Weekly News, Miami Police Force invests in body cameras.
Also ahead, Miami celebrates one of its longest-standing traditions.
Welcome to Oxford Weekly News. I'm Vanessa Thornton.
And I'm McKenna Sandstrom. 2 people were killed in a car crash on Todd Road in Oxford on February 26th. A man and a woman were killed on the scene, and a woman who was driving was also taken to McCullough Hyde Hospital in Oxford. Oxford Township Police say the 2013 Nissan went off Todd Road, rolled off a few times before striking a utility pole around 1 p.m. on the 26th. Identities are not yet being released.
Body cameras could lead to better policing. I went to the university's police department to see why MUPD has decided to start using body cameras and how the new policy will impact the campus community.
Miami University Police will be equipping its officers with body cameras. The police department has purchased 23 body cameras for officers to place on their uniforms. Miami University Police Chief John McCandless says the cameras will build trust to the community.
Certain citizens feel like when it's their word against the officer's word that they're not being believed. And so whatever happened is what happened, but it's going to be caught on the video. And I think that's good for the police, and I think it's good for the public.
Issues over police shooting in Ferguson, Missouri pushes officers to wear body cameras during duty. Miami senior Alexandra Boisel says the body camera would show a lot of what was actually being said and done.
Everybody tells the story differently of whatever incident occurred, and I think by having a live feed of the body camera, it would prevent cloudy stories from happening in the courtroom because there's a clear picture.
The camera is placed on the chest of an officer and records with a push of a button. There are policies for when an officer is allowed to record video. Detective Sergeant Jim Bechtold says there are guidelines they need to adjust before they complete the program.
There's also a part in the policy that's designed to tell them when to not record with their camera. And those generally revolve around privacy issues for the community members.
Officers are required to write a written report of each instance recorded. Miami Police spent $16,000 on the cameras.
University police will begin wearing the body cameras in April.
Talawanda is considering random drug testing at the high school. Drug tests could be given to students who are participating in extracurricular activities or have a parking pass. The district has yet to make a final decision, but did say it would cost about $8,700, and the school would provide counseling and resources for students who tested positive.
The princess is getting a makeover to make her grand entrance once again. Plans for the movie theater in Uptown Oxford have been submitted for approval from the Design Review Board, HAPC. The theater will keep its existing front facade and design while renovating the existing theater inside of the building. The plans also add 3 stories of residential apartment above the theater. Oxford Economic Development Director Alan Kiger says there have been previous requests to build other theaters near Oxford, but reusing the Princess is the best option for the town.
One of the things that is so unique about the Princess Theater is you're a parent, you can drop off a 13, 14-year-old to go to the movie and theater and tell them we're going to pick you up a half hour after the show's over. They can go to Kona, Cafeteria, they can go to UDF and get some ice cream. Oxford is a town that they can have some of their own social time in, and then their parents come and get them.
The renovated Princess is scheduled to reopen in fall 2016.
A fundraiser in honor of Rebecca Eldemeyer took place February 17th. Insomnia Cookies teamed up with the Honors Fraternity Phi Sigma Pi to help raise money for Eldemeyer's Foundation for the betterment for environmental and earth protection. Brother of Phi Sigma Pi, Kristen Kasberg, says it's just one type of event to help bring positive energy to this tragedy.
As parents reminded us that as sad and heartbreaking as this is, she wouldn't want us to be sad and mourning. She would want us to celebrate and be happy and to try and make all of those big dreams that she had still happen. So this is the perfect way for us to be able to continue her dreams, to continue her passions.
The cookie shop says they've sold over $1,500 worth of cookies that day, donating 5% to the Beeps Foundation.
Butler County is bringing back a heroin task force summit to work on combating heroin in the community. The Butler County Coroner's Office announced February 20th that drug overdose was the #1 cause of death in the cases the office investigated last year. The task force will address heroin-related issues like intervention and treatment, and how community activities can help.
With weather conditions affecting everything from schools closing to driving to the grocery store, Oxford Weekly News reporter Kelly Stinser took a closer look.
Thanks, McKenna. With wind chills as low as -11, Oxford is experiencing winter weather advisories, and classes have been canceled by the university and neighboring K-12 schools. I faced the cold this week to see how Oxford's been holding up.
Winter weather has hit Oxford with a strong force and has no signs of stopping soon. The snowfall on February 15th and 16th left Oxford with 3 to 4 inches of snow and sub-zero temperatures. Miami students still trek their way to classes despite the difficult terrain and frigid temperatures. Students living off campus have the challenge of walking to class on sidewalks that have not been plowed. Miami senior Haley Rice says she has already seen the negative effects of the winter weather.
Well, my walk to class this morning at 8:30 was pretty terrible. It's been pretty hard to make it to class on time just because I'm not really sure of the conditions of the sidewalk. And some days when it's icier than others, it takes a while and I can be late.
The icy temperatures have also been accompanied by a spike in sick students. The January and February months are the busiest times of the year for the staff in the Student Health Center. Dr. Susan Bance is a physician at the health center and explains how the winter cold and flu spreads.
Viruses tend to spread easier when it's cold. I think mainly it's because people are inside more. So if you're sitting next to someone or you're in a tight space with a lot of people, as happens in the sorority recruitment, that's when we really see a peak of illness.
Flu symptoms include a sudden onset of high fever, painful coughing, and severe fatigue and body aches. Freshman Christian Horn came into the health center with flu-like symptoms and was asked by doctors to take precautions as to not get more people sick.
I'm wearing this face mask so that I guess I don't get other people sick. It was just interesting that I had to come in and put a mask on. I didn't expect it.
If you feel like you may have the flu, the health center is urging students to come within the first 48 hours in order to shorten the length of the illness.
Since the start of the semester, the health center has diagnosed over 130 students with the flu, and the numbers continue to rise. We'll keep you updated here on Oxford Weekly News. I'm Kelly Stinser. Back to you, Vanessa and McKenna, in the nice, warm studio.
Coming up, Oxford gets ready to welcome a Cincinnati tradition.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Oxford Weekly News. I'm McKenna Sandstrom. Valentine's Day is over, but Oxford residents still have something sweet to look forward to. Grader's Ice Cream is moving to High Street in May. The store will be located between Fiesta Chara and Kona and will be a full ice cream shop, but will not include the bakery that some Grader's stores have.
With the growing international student population at Miami, Oxford Weekly News reporter Benji Cohen looked at how the university is trying to make Miami feel a little more like home.
With the 15-day-long Chinese New Year celebration of the GOAT already on its way, I stopped by Miami's Confucius Institute to take a look at how students are celebrating the new year. Miami University's Confucius Institute celebrates the 15-day-long Chinese New Year in McGuffey Hall on February 18th. Director of Miami's Confucius Institute, Chen Zhao, says there are many activities for students to participate in for celebrating the new year.
We have the Chinese calligraphy, and then we have paper folding, paper cutting, block printing, and lantern making, and the kite making. So all kinds of things, and also making the so-called window flowers. So students doing the paper cut in the red paper put on the window. That's specifically for Chinese New Year.
Associate Director of Miami's Confucius Institute, Dr. Lang Hui, says the anonymous letter that was published in the Miami Student was a form of expression that will help international students and professors gain a better understanding of each other.
I'm open to communication. If a professor, has seen some issues, it's good for him to write it out so that people can communicate with each other and then to achieve mutual understanding.
Lane believes the letter does not put all Chinese students in a negative light.
Of course, what the professor said could be true to some extent, but it wouldn't apply to every Chinese student.
Lang also says the celebration can help students form a better understanding of Chinese culture.
This is a significant holiday, and it's a holiday not only for Chinese, but it's a holiday for people to know about Chinese culture. We use this Chinese New Year celebration to connect not only Chinese students with American students, but to connect to the whole community.
The 15-day-long celebration ends on March 5th. Reporting for Oxford Weekly News, I'm Benji Cohen. Back to you, McKenna and Vanessa.
When we get back, we'll learn more about Charter Day Ball, an important Miami tradition.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Oxford Weekly News. Miami's hockey team moved into national top 5 rankings, including USA Hockey Magazine, after its split series with Minnesota Duluth. The last regular season games for the Redhawks is this weekend at Denver. Talawanda High School has given Google Chromebooks to its students. The laptops are used for testing, homework, and communication. Assistant Principal Chris Rodent says the use of the Chromebooks has gone well, and the district is expanding their use to kindergarten through 9th grade.
You wouldn't worry about handing a student a textbook and them taking it home. It's essentially the same thing. Textbooks cost about as much as a Chromebook a lot of times, so it's essentially the same thing. And it's just like using pencil and paper. It's just another way for kids to learn and for them to show what they know.
The Chromebooks have helped students to keep up with makeup work during the snow days of the past few weeks.
Bishop Woods is going to look completely different this fall. The campus green space is being updated to include more flowers, trees, and grass, as well as getting new pathways and seating. Lights will also be added along the pathways to make it safer. The improvements are part of the master plan for campus construction and are aimed to make Bishop Woods a place where students can relax and study on campus.
I'm so excited to see students actually going in there, and instead of just passing through, that they actually stop and just be inside the woods. That's what I'm excited for. I'm hoping, and I think it's going to happen, is that this will just be a new space on campus that the students are just going to own.
Restoration should be complete by this August when students return to campus. It was a cold evening in Oxford on February 21st, but the Charter Day Ball brought the fire to the ice. I took a look at how the ball went and what it's like to attend.
This year, Miami celebrates its 206th birthday, also known as the day it was officially chartered by the state of Ohio. To celebrate its long history as one of the oldest schools in Ohio, Miami puts on what is known as the Charter Day Ball. For more than 60 years, a committee of dedicated Miamians put together the event from the bottom up in order for it to happen every 3 years. Ray Mock, director of Miami's Alumni Association, says he's been to a few balls, but the alumni perspective is different from a student's.
And so to have the opportunity as a student to dress up and to get excited and to go to a party that was in fact bigger than anything any of us had ever seen at that time, hear the music of an orchestra playing dance music and be a part of all that for a student, as a student, was kind of a thrilling, and it was almost a grown-up experience that most of us as students had never had.
This year's event was highly successful. Rachel Anthony and Sam Von Haney are co-chairs for the Charter Day Ball Committee, And they say, although it was busy, everything went smoothly.
It was great. Definitely a lot better than we had expected. We'd anticipated a lot of mishaps, and
there were like zero.
Yeah, nothing really went wrong. We were very happy.
Just less than 2,400 tickets were sold for this year's event, which is significantly more than what was sold for the ball in 2012. Kathleen George is a senior here at Miami, who also went to the ball her freshman year. She says this ball is a special time for her.
Seeing all my friends here and getting to celebrate my last year in Miami.
In partnership with the Charter Day Ball Committee, the Associated Student Government also helped plan and fund the celebration for Miami students, alumni, and the community.
The next Charter Day Ball will take place in 2018 for Miami's 209th birthday.
That's all for this week on Oxford Weekly News. You can watch us online at miamiohtv.com.
Also connect with us on Twitter and Facebook at Oxford Weekly News.
I'm Vanessa Thornton.
And I'm McKenna Sandstrom. Thank you for watching.